Isn't this special? An Oregon mother of 4 is on trial in Portland for the murder of her 4-year-old boy. Prosecutors says sorry, this is written badly. Prosecutors says that Jessica Dutro complained on Facebook to her boyfriend that her son Zachary was gay and beat him on several occasions because of it. In the Facebook message to her boyfriend Brian Kennedy, which was read in court today, Jessica Dutro said that her son Zachary was facing the wall because he had made her mad, Oregon Live reports. Her son was going to be gay, she wrote, using a slur. He walks and talks like it. Ugh. Kennedy would have to work on Zachary, she wrote. On August 12, 2012, Kennedy allegedly violently kicked 4-year-old Zachary in the stomach. He reportedly refused to take the child to the hospital. When the boy finally was taken to the emergency room 2 days later, it was too late. He was taken off life support August 16, 2012. The cause of his death was blunt force trauma to his abdomen, which caused tears in his bowel, Oregon Live reported. Zachary was covered in bumps and bruises, Oregon Live notes in a separate report, but he died from 2 holes in his intestines caused by blunt force trauma. Urine and feces seeped from the holes and harmed his internal organs. Doctors concluded that abdominal trauma had caused the tears in Zachary's gut. High-velocity car crashes or bike accidents could cause similar injuries, Leonhardt said. Otherwise, it takes forceful, violent kicking or stomping to cause such injuries, he testified. Bruises were all over Zachary's body. They suggested that the child had pulled himself into a fetal position to protect himself from a beating, the doctor said. The various injuries indicated he had been abused multiple times, Leonhardt said. Dead old tissue from a deep cut hung off Zachary's lip. Leonhardt, a child abuse specialist at Randall Children's Hospital and CARES Northwest, could not recall another case where a child had that injury. That thing would have bled a lot, he said. You just let this flap of lip hang there? The doctor said most children with such a wound would have been brought in for emergency care. A previous report details Zachary's 7-year-old sister explaining how her little brother got dead. Jessica and Brian, they kept hitting him and punching him, she said. He didn't listen to them, so they kicked him and punched him and stuff, and they kept doing it and doing it. Brian Kennedy has pled guilty to first-degree manslaughter and second-degree assault. Zachary's mother, Jessica Dutro, is on trial for murder by abuse, and second-degree assault. Dutro, in addition to her late son Zachary, is the mother of a 3-year-old boy, an infant, and the 7-year-old girl who testified in court. Both the 3-year-old and the 7-year-old reportedly showed signs of physical abuse. Doctors told detectives that if the boy had received treatment for his injuries, he adds, he likely would have survived. Isn't that special? There's a picture of this woman I'm going to use on my... Looks like a bitch. Looks just like a bitch. Looks like a couple people I've known in my life that were really bitchy. Let me scroll down. I don't want to have to look at her picture. But yeah, nasty. I would have liked to have had a child. I'm sure there's a lot of women out there that would have liked to have had children that could not because they had assholes for husbands. And I won't go down that road. it just makes me sick that there are people like this. Not only has she killed the little boy, but apparently she's also been abusive to her other children. But what a bitch. I mean, I'm sorry. This is little baby that she held against her and rocked, and I'm assuming, you know, did all the things mothers do when they have a little baby, you know. Then again, considering her character, maybe she didn't. I don't know. But killing a little, tiny, helpless, vulnerable 4-year-old because of how he walks and talks and behaves. And I'm sorry, but you don't kill somebody. You know, even if he is gay, you don't kill a little child. You don't kill anybody for being what they are, who they are. You don't kill people for being true to themselves. You know, this poor little child didn't stand a chance with this bitch. Not a single chance. And of course she attracted slime for a boyfriend. A woman like this, a personality like this. What would find such a woman beautiful except, you know, bottom feeders, the utter slime of the planet. This just makes me sick. The quiet the quiet atheist, there goes my, damn. Excuse me, the quiet atheist did a video on this, and that's what made me read this article, and I'm just like sickened by it. Some people should not be allowed to be parents. There's enough people out there that would be good parents, even gay people out there that would be good parents, that this little boy could have been, you know, that any of her children could have been with. You know, this woman needs to have her children taken away. She needs to be, sorry, you never get to have children again. Actually, she needs to be, I'm sorry, this bitch needs to die. But she won't die. For some reason, at least from my observation, the murder of a child isn't quite as bad. It seems to me that people murder children and they don't get death. It's like not as, I don't know. I guess it depends on the state, right? Anyway, I don't want this to get too long. I just wanted to give my impression. I just think it's disgusting, and these other children need to be taken from this bitch. This bitch needs life in prison at least, if not death. Kill the bitch is all I can say. You know, anybody who can do this to a little baby. 2 fucking grown adults, according to the little sister's testimony. 2 fucking grown adults hitting and kicking again and again a little 4-year-old boy. And I can imagine he did nothing wrong except walk a certain way or talk a certain way to bring on this attack. There is an abomination in this society, and it isn't homosexuality. It's this fucking religion that creates monsters like this, that creates this kind of hate and bigotry toward other people. That's the abomination in this society. This is the sickening, poisonous abomination in our society. And I'm sorry, but we need to fight. Atheists, we don't like religion anyway, but this is like one of the ugliest faces of it, and this is why we hate religion. This is why we fight against it, because of the innocent people who die. Yeah, I was in the kitchen and I decided that I had more to say. Of course, now the cat wants to go out. I'm ignoring it because I just let him in, her in. Anyway, the question whether this mother is a Christian or not came to my mind. She looks like she's Filipino. There's no way to know, obviously, from just looking at a picture. She just reminds me of a couple of people that I know from my former job who were Filipino. And they were very Christian. They were very religious people, you know. So I don't know if that means she's a Christian because that, you know, just because of her nationality or whatever, or where she comes from. Doesn't necessarily mean that she's a Christian, but, you know, she could have people in her family who are, she could have been raised by parents who are, she could have friends who are, she could have, you know, her town could be predominantly Christian, who knows, But obviously this woman, I think if Christianity did not exist, honestly, I don't think that this attitude toward homosexuality and gay people would be nearly the thing that it has become in this country. Killing a little child because, this is the second time I've heard now of a little child being killed because it behaves like it might be gay. There was that guy who shot a little boy in the head for thinking that the little boy was gay. Anyway, it just seems to me that this is just another example of, not only does this religion damage the attitude or the way people see the different genders, but it causes death of innocent people. It causes the death of, 2 little children have died because of this mentality that, I'm sorry, but I just don't think would exist if it wasn't for this vile religion, for this cult. Christianity and Islam is just as bad. I think that they're both to blame for pretty much the worst of the evil in the world. So anyway, that was just something else I wanted to put out there. I do blame the mother. I do blame this jackass of a boyfriend. But I also think that the Christian religion is to blame for this boy's death. I think if it wasn't for this religion and its influence on our society, how it fuels hatred toward a group of people, hatred and disgust and contempt and all these things that you see demonstrated by people like this, and it causes innocents to die. So again, I just think, we need to fight tooth and nail to do what we can to slow this thing down, stop it in its tracks. It needs to die. We need to kill this religion. I don't know. It's like standing before the tide of the ocean. We need to stop the tide. It's probably not possible, but we need to do what we can do to stop this, to stop the hate, to stop the destruction that this brings to people's lives, innocent people's lives. And the only thing that I can think of that we can do is speak out as loudly as we can against this filthy religion, this filthy lie that has so got its clutches on this country. And I guess Canada too. I didn't realize that there were so many Canucks that were deceived or deluded also, but apparently Canada's got a good share of them too. It makes me sad. Anyway, luckily Europe is no longer so bad, and hopefully one day America too can be freed from the vile clutches. It makes me sick. It makes me sick what this religion does to people. And the innocent people, the innocent lives that it takes. So anyway, just wanted to add that if I didn't make it clear with the first part. So again, thanks for watching.